Welcome back, Bob the Vapor Computer Guy. Today we're taking a look at a new mod and tank kit from Vaporesso, and this was sent in by Vaporesso for the purposes of this review. This is called the Switcher with NRG tank. So nice looking device, I think. Let's dive down to the table, look at it up close, and then we'll talk about it. Alright, so today we're taking a look at a new mod kit from Vaporesso. This is the Switcher with NRG tank. Just to go over one thing, mine was a pre-release box and they changed the name. It used to be Transformer. It is now called the Switcher. Okay, so it's the Switcher with the NRG. Let's take a look at what you get with it. Obviously they have nice boxes, Vaporesso. They're doing this really nice. Looks good. You get your mod in here, you get your tank, you get an extra coil in here, you have your manual and your charging cable. Alright, close that up and let's take a look at the star of the show, the Switcher with NRG tank. So really nice design on here. Let's look at that first. You have this material on the sides here. You know, it's plastic, but it's like a hard plastic and it's got a nice grip to it. And I think it looks good over here. Alright. You can see on both sides, you have your large screen here. Your fire button is right in the center top, okay? Which is different. You know, you can do it this way. You can do it this way. We'll talk more about that when we go back up on top. You have three buttons. You have a menu button, you have your up, your down, and you have your charging upgrade port. On the back just has this nice design here, more like a modern design. Door slides open here. Nice, good door. No problems whatsoever with the door. It really does hold well. Slide that down. It's a tight click. It has to be pushed this way and up, so it's not coming off at all. All right. The tank itself, the NRG switcher tank, is an 810 connector on top. All right. Vaporesso tanks have this slide open to fill, which has been working really well. And you got the coils in there. I'll show you one of the coils separately. Grab one of these coils here. These are the coils that it uses. Some pretty good hunking coils in there. You got 4 vertical coils in there. As you can see, this is, zoom in so we can both see it. Alright, 0.15 ohm coil rated at 50 to 110 watts. Alright, and they're doing a pretty good job. The coils have been pretty nice, pretty good flavor on them. Let's go through the menu a little bit here. So, if you press it once, you can lock and unlock the buttons with 3 clicks. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's asking because I took the batteries out. I'll say it's a new coil, but it's not. 1, 2, 3, and you get the lock on there, and then the buttons won't do anything, and it tells you 3 to unlock, 5 to turn off. 1, 2, 3. All right. If you hit the menu button here, you hit it again. No, wait. 1, 2, 3 on the menu button, and then there we go. So now the first thing you're in is the menu for choosing the vape type. You have variable wattage, high, normal, and soft. That's like the preheat. All right. You have custom. As you see, you can actually do a whole nice custom display. And let me zoom that in for you so you can see that a little better. You can do a whole nice custom display of the wattage, and this is, you know, you ramp up in time and how long for each one, so you can really do that nice. Go back over here. 1, 2, 3. We'll go back to the main menu. You have stainless steel, you have nickel, titanium, TCR modes and so forth. You have bypass mode, which is always nice to have. And we'll put this back onto normal, and if you go 1, 2, 3, and then you go to system set, here you can set the time. You have a clock in here, you have the time, you have the date. You can choose to have it off, to have numeric clock on there after, you know, let's say you have your screen time for 10 seconds. After that, it'll go to whatever this is set for. A pointer is an analog style looking clock. You have number and you have off. We'll just leave it on number. You hold a few seconds, it goes back. There you go. Brightness. You control the brightness of the screen. Alright, I always leave that on the highest brightness. Puff counter. Over here you can reset the puff counter time and the mode. Let's go back. Smart on off. What smart on off does, when that's on, it goes by the voltage you have set and the resistance of the coil, and it tries to automatically figure out the best voltage, best wattage to use for you. It's kind of, you know, for somebody who's not too confident in that you're setting things right for the type of coil and you're not sure what you're doing, you put that on and it gives you a little added protection, and it tries to figure it out for you, the best wattage to use. So, of course, I'm leaving that off and just setting it myself. You have a screen timeout. You can set the screen timeout on here. And the screen timeout if you notice, is not just seconds, but minutes. So you can have it where the screen just stays on all the time, up to 1 hour. So that's a long time, but you have the option, which is nice. You know, I like the idea that they give you the option, and you can choose what to do with it. I usually set it for 10 seconds, which is one of the most common. Version, you can see the version of the software it's on here for upgrading. Default to wipe out your settings and put them back to default, and exit. Obviously, you have your up down here. All right, goes up to 220 watts. With their coil in there that's rated, what was it rated, like 50 to 110? I've been using it at 80, and I've been finding that's been working great. Let's go back down to 80. All right. And then you're back. You got your battery levels, variable wattage, normal. You have your resistance, you have your voltage, which you'll see when you fire. All right. You have your wattage, and you have your puff counter in seconds. That's your puff counter, and that's how long the last vape was. So there you go. You got Vaporesso branding on there. Nothing more on the bottom. Sorry, let's zoom back out. Overall, it's a heavy mod. Give you some weights on it when we go back on top, and so you can compare it. But it's a heavy, solid device, and it just works well. So far, I've had no flaws with it. I haven't found anything wrong with the button. The button's been firing perfectly every time. Like I said, they are calling it now the Switcher with NRG. That's what the retail version will say when it comes out. And even though this might be a pre-release one, no problems whatsoever. It's been working great. But let's go back up and talk about it, and let's see how it was vaping on it for the last week. Been vaping great. I can't find any flaws with this device. It's been working well. It's a little on the hefty side, on the heavy side. Let's get you some specs, get you some weights, stuff like that. So they call it the NRG tank, which is a 26.5 millimeter tank. They also have a mini, but this one is the full-size tank. They have a mini that's 23 millimeters, from what I understand here. It holds 5 milliliter. Oh, the 23 millimeter is the 2 milliliter capacity, I guess, for the EU. This one is the 26.5 millimeter tank, and that holds 5 milliliters of juice. It's max power of 220 watts. It's 53 by 89 by 31 millimeters. Resistance goes down to 0.05. It's a zinc alloy casing. 0.96 inch screen, 315 watts in temperature control. Let's see, is there anything else about this thing? Yeah, you can, I guess you can remove this case. Not sure how you do that, but I guess you can remove this, and you can buy different slides, you know, pieces that slide on here with different colors. I haven't tried to remove it. I only have the one color anyway, but there's 4 color options available. We'll throw that on the screen so you can see that there. Let me get a scale and give you some weights on it. So let's give you an idea how much it weighs with a couple of AA batteries. These things don't take AA batteries. Dual 18650 batteries. This device with batteries, if my scale ever decides to come on, will be, you want pounds or you want grams? Let's switch over to grams. All right. So this device here is just about 300 grams, 298 grams. Let's compare it to something recent. This is the Wismec Revenger 230 with batteries, 245. So just to give you an idea, comparing these two in weight, this is about 50 grams heavier. So it's not a light device. If you like something heavy, and I know some people do, you know, this feels good in the hand. It's nice and solid. It feels like it could take a beating. Not that I do drop tests, because you shouldn't deliberately drop things, I feel. Everything about it's been working fine. I have no flaws in it. The only thing that's a subjective con is if you like the battery placement. Some people don't like the batteries in the front. I find no problem with it. I just like to thumb it. I just feel that works well. If you like to do it the other way, you can easily hold it like this. But that's the only thing about it, is the fire button placement. You do have this nice little, I like this little display here that shows you the ramp up. You can see that, like a little bar graph there. And it shows you what it's doing with the ramp up and ramp down, which you can customize, very finely tune, which is really cool if you like to do that. Or you got the smart mode. If you don't like to play around with all this stuff and you just want to set it for the smart mode and vape, it works well. The smart mode is not genius, but it comes out pretty good, and the vaping's working fine. I've been very happy with it, like I said. It's reliable, it works well, like I said. It is not called the Transformer when it comes to retail. It'll be called the Switcher. Don't ask me why. That's up to them. But I'm sure you can figure that part out for yourselves. Coils have been working good in this tank. The tank is reliable. I have it also on another Vaporesso device, which will be coming up soon for review, the same exact tank. And so I've been using two of them side by side, and they've been performing good. The coils are pretty good in terms of how long the coils last. That would take, you know, a month of using a couple of coils, so I really can't answer that for you. But taste is pretty good for a sub-ohm tank coil. You know, it's never going to be like an RTA or an RDA, but they're pretty good taste on there. So there you go. That's my review of the Vaporesso Switcher with NRG tank. Thanks a lot for watching. Please hit that subscribe and like button, and I'll see you next time.